But also add to that, everything that I have was paid for by me in my employment. Okay, and unlike these scumbags, the drug users, such as Belinda Jeffries, who thinks that everybody's like-minded to her, Belinda Jeffries, you're a massive big cocaine addict. Okay, you want to check my toxicology reports because you think everyone's like you. So then you open up and show how is Ush, by the way, your cocaine trafficker, the big fat Russian guy that you and Anthony Toomer use. How's Anthony Toomer still addicted to drugs and alcohol? I mean, you're no good for him. And then you used to buy cocaine and give it to his nephew, Phoenix Keating. You did at Johnny Sewell's birthday party. I saw you giving cocaine to Phoenix Keating, Anthony Toomer's nephew. That was at Johnny Sewell's birthday party in King's Cross. When after that birthday party, Ush and his friend went to your place in Elizabeth Bay and gave you a trafficking amount of cocaine. Okay? How are you going with that, Linda Jeffries? Because you think you're entitled to involve yourself in someone's life. Are you? So, my money, my BMW, my assets, and my belongings. I already had all this money before I was mugged after work. And here's the thing. When people are looking into my life like, oh, but he's not working. Okay. That's what you've made up because I only just finished work in 2020, but major injuries caught up with me because I never actually had time. I never actually had the time to rest and recover from two major injuries. One of them being brain damage. November 30th, 2007, I was violently attacked and robbed on my way home from work. I wasn't the only person that was mugged that night. That's how the Detective Chopper, could paste together everything because there was a string of muggings down Devonshire Street, cut through Ryder Street and got me on Cleveland Street. You can look at it. So it's not a story to tell. You got stories to tell, do you? Okay, you do. So you've actually had a bad injury after work and got nothing for it, and then was defamed because you had so much money and assets and expensive furniture and cars, where the same type of group of people that mugged and robbed me after work then defamed me because it was the abos. For still having everything I worked hard for. For example, because I still had the sports cars, the money, the furniture, the clothing and jewelry, that was all proceeds of my income. Because I still owned all this, then I started getting defamed to say, oh, it's from some other bullshit. It's like, no. And that's where my family was supposed to help. Because if you go onto my social media account and you start looking at the photos of me where I've labelled everything in years, plus the best, go look at the DVD. So Jeremy Patterson used my place as a set and my belongings in 2006 and 2007 before I was mugged. So before I was mugged, so you're going to see things like what's in this cabinet over here and other items. You're going to see expensive artwork and statues before I was mugged. You made the stories up, you can pay for them. So you want to defame a person because you have drug issues, which is what even these deadbeat. Hey, my neighbour upstairs has. She since I moved in here, she literally came into my life. It's like, who do you think you are? She literally came into my life with her. So she's gone to AA, Martine Campbell. She's gone to AA. She's got drug problems, all these issues, and then started involving herself in my life. I don't want to talk about, their issue. It was like, but you freely told me this, and you came into my life. For what reason? I just live here. Like, I've had injuries after work. I don't have problems because of drugs like you do. Okay, or the other deadbeat, I was mugged, violently mugged after work and left with brain damage. Okay, and still pushed through it. Because I went back to studies and work and so forth, and I was working in 2020. What did you do with your drug use? You lived off the government. I didn't. I sold my investment property, had money in the bank, I had shitloads of savings, fixed term deposits, savings accounts, assets, belongings, still have my BMW. What did you have? Because you're the product of your life, what you've done. I'm not. I had an injury and I'm the victim of defamation and discrimination. There's a massive big difference. So difference between two major injuries, one in 2007, the other in 2010, then being the victim of extreme defamation and discrimination, and then watching deadbeat druggers. No, I don't do that. And that's like Belinda Jeffries. No, I don't do that. You have an issue. But your issues aren't from an illness, aren't from a disability, aren't from an injury. Your issues are self-inflicted. Drugs and alcohol. That's your issues, Belinda Jeffries. That's Anthony Toomer's. That's all your people. That's Stephanie DeSalis' issues. That's Brett Aikenhead's issues. That's his friend Peter Fry's issues. That's Mark Hanna's issues. You don't have an injury. You don't have a disability like I do. No, you have drug and alcohol issues, and you think the world should treat you the same as somebody that's actually got a disability. No, they shouldn't. So there's enough evidence that show my disability. I don't never ever want it to be displayed in public, ever. Never wanted to have to talk about it. Just wanted to live with it. And what I was doing until Housing Commission, all these other organisations got involved, what I was doing was my living environment at home. That was part of my rehabilitation. So I was living and maintaining injuries and health conditions where no one would know when I was going out living my life. Until these people, these deadbeats, and these scummy shit people that work for Strawberry Hills Housing Commission, until they started breaking laws into my life. To my neighbour upstairs, did the same thing. Both of them. Both of my neighbours upstairs broke laws into my life. Both of them. And should be arrested for it. In actual fact, I would go a step forward and say deported. We're full. We don't need people that's going to defame. Like, you broke laws into my life, thanks. Okay? You broke laws in my life. My grandparents fought for Australia. You came here to reap the benefits of what my grandparents fought for. I've got a disability, I've got injuries, and I've got illnesses, and it's nothing to do with what my life is nothing to do with you, and you just overstepped and broke laws into my life, and you think you're entitled, like the Muslim upstairs. So I'll put this out there. What's her name? I was calling Marissa. All right, anyway, and the other one's Martine. No, you broke laws into my life. I want you arrested for breaking these laws. And if police want to turn a blind eye to them breaking laws in my life, then that's police corruption. By the way, recording a person within their own home without their permission is a 2-year jail sentence. If you cause me any distress or health issues or illness by recording me in my own home, you can add this charge on, check it. It's called recklessly endangering someone's health due to breaking. So if you break laws in my life, that's breaking laws, you can be charged for that. But if I then go a step further and say, but those laws being broken in my life, such as being recorded in my own home, okay, that has now caused wrong diagnosis or reckless endangerment to my health. That's added. You don't get to go off. You don't get to come to Australia, Musrat, and break laws into people's lives. Simple. You don't get to come to this country and think you're fucking entitled. You are a guest in Australia. You're a guest where other people's family members fought for a country like this, who went to war and fought. And no one gets to discredit or slander or rub me for the dirt after I've had disability from being mugged after working left with brain damage, left to die on Cleveland Street by Aboriginals in November 30th, 2007. Okay, so 30th November in 2007. Wasn't the only person that was mugged. There was a string of muggings down Devonshire, cut through Riley, got me on Cleveland just before Marvel Street. Then I had other injuries and illnesses in 2010. Didn't stop my life. Those injuries and illnesses got worse and caught up with me after 2020, unfortunately. Okay? You do not get away with this extreme defamation and discrimination towards me. It is disability discrimination towards me, and you don't get to come to this fucking country and do this towards me. No one does. Okay? Not an abo, not any person, not what I've gone through. No one does. Not some jealous prick that's had nothing wrong with them except that they're a victim of their own behaviour. Okay? Their own drug use. Their own shit behaviour. Or their own shit people they affiliate with. All I did was come home from work. Like I guess what these other people were doing who got badly mugged and robbed. Okay? November 30th, 2007. Then I had other injuries and illness that happened in 2010. Living with disability is hard enough. Okay, living with disability where you don't fit into a category that organisations who work for disability want you to fit into is even worse. Because not only is it defamation, then you feel like you're getting discriminated against by disability workers. Then having people try to use your misfortunate event and your disability to make money from it for themselves or to benefit themselves, such as wanting to be a carer. That's even worse. What I've gone through, what I'm going through, what's been put through towards me by government agencies and departments, how New South Wales police turn a blind eye, don't turn a blind eye. My neighbour broke laws in my life. You can arrest women. Don't turn a blind eye to scummy shit people. I live with disability. Okay, it may not be a disability that disability workers want so they can make money from it, but it's still living with disability that's hard enough to live with. Someone records someone in their own home, that's a criminal offence that carries a 2-year jail sentence. You're meant to arrest them for it. Arrest them. If a person hangs on to that video footage, for example, Rachel from Strawberry Hills Housing Commission, she can be charged. Charge her. I live a hard enough life to live since 2007. I'm not going to put up with other people's bullshit into my life.